What's going on, guys? Jared here with onX. I want to talk to you a little bit about our 2020 crop data layers within the onXHunt app and how it can make you a more successful whitetail hunter. Obviously, understanding food sources is a critical component of the greater whitetail picture, determining destination food sources as well as likely doe bedding with food sources in close proximity to cover. First and foremost, an understanding of likely crop rotations is key. On this particular Wisconsin farm and its surrounding neighbors, corn and soybeans are the two major agricultural crops that are planted. And so if corn was planted last year, more than likely it's going to be soybeans this year and vice versa. So diving into the map here, simply turn on the crop data layers in your map layers. Simply, you'll see that I'll add corn and soybeans here, as those are the two main crops. And a couple of things jump out to me right away when I look at this map with the crop data layers turned on. First and foremost is this ag field on the piece of property that I have access to from October 30th to November 6th. And if you query that, you can see it was almost 48 acres of corn last year. So I can anticipate that that will be beans this year. And looking at that, this long drawn out ridge is right above this agricultural field, which you can see these two finger ridges that drop down into this bottom, and those will likely be great doe bedding areas, as doe, like all deer, really love to bed on ridges as it gives them a great vantage and they can use thermals and wind to their advantage. So this is a very interesting spot to me that I'll drop a waypoint on, and this will be one of the very first spots that I do a quick boots on the ground verified check to see if there's merit to hunt that particular spot. The next area on this farm that really jumps out to me is at the very north end. There's a massive field that surrounds a ton of woods that I have access to hunt. And as you can see, it was beans last year. So a little bit over 100 acres in total of beans. So that will likely be corn this year, which is very attractive to me as I've found the most personal success hunting over corn come November. The one thing I don't love about this particular spot is these ridges are much shorter and steeper than the previous ridge that we looked at that was much more long, drawn out, and gradual. It's always hard to tell on a map, but I'll verify in person if these spots are likely to harbor doe bedding areas or not. But regardless, just because of that ag field up top going to be in corn, that's going to be a spot of keen interest. Lastly, on this piece of property is this long drawn out ridge with a cornfield on the adjacent property, which once again is a bean field this year. It's only 26 acres, but it's in a great location as it relates to this long drawn out flat ridge top, which I've often found great success and a plethora of scrapes, rubs, and buck sign on this type of terrain. So given that this is going to be a cornfield this year, more than likely, I am absolutely going to spend one of my first days with a quick scout and likely a hang-in hunt on this particular area, as I believe it's going to harbor multiple groups of doe bedding, which in the beginning of November more than likely means cruising bucks in the area, which is exactly what I'll be looking for.